What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over all of the new technology and vehicles that NIO has released at its NIO Day event just a couple of hours ago. We're going to go over all of that info so you guys get to stay up to date and can make some decisions on what you're going to do this week with your NIO positions. Now, before we get into that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me get this information out to as many people as possible, and you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks and maybe even learn about a couple of new ones. If we go over and take a look at the chart of NIO, we can see that it has had a pretty substantial run up into this event. So at the end of the year, it was trading at the mid $44 mark and went all the way up to $58.92 at the market close on Friday and went up after hours 0.24%. Up to 59.06. Now, I predicted that this was going to happen. Usually when companies have such a huge event coming up in the near future, we usually see a lot of money pile into the shares and the stock price tends to rise in the hopes of expecting a very large move after the information is announced. Now, I don't think this is it for NIO's uptrend. If you stick to the end of this video, we're going to go over some pretty insane option bets that are taking place on NIO right now by looking at the option chain, so make sure you stick around for that. So let's talk about all of the new things that have been unveiled at NIO's Battery Day. So first, they revealed their new ET7 sedan. So essentially what this sedan is going to be is it's just their new model and it's going to compete with the Tesla Model S. So it also kind of looks like an Audi, which is pretty cool. But since they came out with a competitive model to Tesla, Tesla has said that 47% of their electric vehicle sales will come from China in the coming years. And if NIO can get this car out to as many consumers as possible, and it's at a competitive price point, which it is, they can gain a higher market share than Tesla in China and start to push them out, which would be great for NIO because they would be able to gain a higher valuation. Now, we can go down here. We can see that the ET7 will retail for $70,000 US before the subsidies, and this is going to only include the base model of the 70 kilowatt hour battery pack. But if users subscribe to the company's battery as a service facility, the model's price would be slashed to $59,000. And the ET7 can now be pre-ordered by paying RMB of 5,000. So they also revealed that they're going to come out with their 150 kilowatt hour battery pack. I've talked a lot about this in my previous videos, that this battery is going to give NIO the highest range out of any electric vehicle in the world today. So they released this model, and it says that it's going to have a range of about 1,000 kilometers. That's insane. They were originally saying that it was going to have around 900, but at this event, they disclosed that it actually has a range of 900 kilometers, which is about upper 600 miles around that range. They also revealed that they are going to be coming out with their fully autonomous driving. This is one of the most important pieces of news that NIO has released. I've discussed this, and NIO has kind of hinted that they're going to come out with this in the future, and I'll go over the deal that really kind of told me that they were going to come out with this technology at this event. But at this event, NIO went a step further by introducing its autonomous driving feature, NAD. The company's Aquila sensing features 11 AMP high-resolution cameras. These are going to be pretty technical things, but they essentially said that the entire system is built upon the concept of multiple redundancies to enhance safety. So this system, they made it so that it's going to be so overly safe that consumers are going to want to trust it, and the regulators are going to allow this software in their cars and allow people to purchase cars with this NAD software, the fully autonomous software in the cars, and allow them on their roads. So the piece of news that really gave this away, that NIO was going to come out with its autonomous driving feature, was this right here. So Mobileye signs a deal with China's NIO for robo-taxis. So essentially what they're going to do is they kind of took the place of Volkswagen. Volkswagen was actually supposed to help develop this technology, but they were too far behind. And so the Mobileye went to NIO and was like, hey, can you guys help us with this autonomous technology? And NIO had the technology to do this, and they agreed to help create robo-taxis in Tel Aviv. Now, this came out at the beginning of December, and when I saw this, I was like, well, why would Mobileye want to work with NIO on an autonomous driving software? If NIO doesn't have an autonomous driving software, it wouldn't make sense. Now it's been confirmed that NIO has their NAD system, which will be fully autonomous and will be in their ET7s. Recently, NIO also got a pretty substantial price target raise at the time, and you can look and see that Bank of America increased the price target from $44.70 to $59. Now, at the time that Bank of America released this price target update, NIO was trading at about $48, which this price target would have assumed a 22% increase in price for NIO. So that was pretty big. But if we go over and take a look at NIO right now, after hours, they've exceeded that price target by 6 cents already. So NIO has absolutely exceeded analyst expectations. We can also see that NIO also exceeded expectations in terms of its delivery numbers. NIO's deliveries climbed 121% year over year to around 7,000 vehicles in December. Now, the total unit delivery is comprised of 2,000 about ES8S, 2,493 ES6s, and 2,505 units of the newly launched EC6s. Now, year over year, NIO has about a little bit over a 100% increase in vehicles delivered in total, which is pretty amazing. I've said before that it's not just the actual delivery numbers of these electric vehicle companies that gives the company a valuation. The vehicle deliveries are important, and it's kind of the basic way to value a company to determine how much money they're making. But it's really the technology that they're putting into these vehicles. Now, at the current time, NIO has the highest range out of any vehicle in the world, the highest electric vehicle in the world, with a range of 1,000 kilometers. That is pretty insane. So let's go over and take a look at some of the option chain activity for NIO in the recent past. So we can look at the January 15th expiration date. We're looking at the out of the money call option. So this is about where NIO is trading right now, 58.92, and anything below here is going to be an out of the money call. So these contracts expire next week, and if we look down at the open interest over here, we can see some very unusually high open interest on these $70 contracts. Now, it's kind of normal to see a pretty high open interest on the closer to the money contracts, but we can go out here and we can see that the $70 strikes have an open interest of about 35,000 contracts. So that means that 35,000 contracts are being held in people's brokerage accounts right now. And if we go over here, this is really important. Almost 27,000 of these contracts were traded on Friday. Now, this means that contracts were bought and sold. So they're being sold to a buyer and bought from a seller. So we don't really know if the people who were selling or buying these contracts have held these contracts for a while, were riding the run up, and were liquidating these positions, but it's kind of safe to assume that a lot of people are still holding these contracts in their brokerage accounts because of this super high open interest. And if you multiply the open interest by the price of an individual contract, so 1.24 is going to equate to $124 per contract. It's about a $4.5 million bet in total on this strike. So that is pretty big. So we're going to take a look at now what I'm playing for NIO. I went over and took a look at the LI option chain just because I don't like how the NIO option chain was so expensive. It just really didn't fit my risk tolerance. I didn't really like it as much as this LI option chain. So if we go over to the January 15th expiration date, this is the next week expiration. I've been playing LI for a little while. I originally had these $35 strikes for next week, but on the news that U.S. lawmakers were looking at delisting Alibaba when the capital was being rioted, it didn't seem very good for all these Chinese electric vehicle companies. I thought they were going to have a pretty massive sell-off, so I sold my $35 strikes for a little bit of a profit, but I still kind of felt bad about doing that, so I hopped in again on these $37 strikes for next week. I'm down a little bit on them right now because LI had a pretty tough day on Friday. I'm not really sure why that would have happened. Usually they follow NIO. But as you can see here, these contracts are a little bit cheaper. The implied volatility is a little bit less than it is on NIO, and so is the volume. So I'm not worried. I think these are going to have a very good chance at going in the money by next Friday. I'm probably going to make them free if I can, if these contracts go up 100% or more in the next couple of days. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this one, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and comment down below your thoughts if you're going to be playing NIO for a NIO day and if you're going to think about adding to your position for the long term.